Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. And as you can hear, TT is my cat. is running wild. She has the nighttime crazies or sillies or zoomies, whatever you like to call them. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's take a look here. We have a very busy bull, Taurus. Okay. Just gonna pull this down so I can look at the negative space. Okay. All right. So I want to go ahead and start with, it feels like we have this very two-sided, it seems like it looks like two people, two formations, two figures, but I almost think of this as being almost like the Janus or I'm trying to think what else is, one frontward facing, one facing the back. So this one looks like it's facing this way and it's holding some kind of sword. It looks like a large figure. Okay, and then on the other side, it looks like a smaller figure who has their arms up almost in the shape of like a crescent moon. And we have this kind of, it looks like some kind of bird, maybe an owl. Okay. And I feel that this is two sides of the same person, kind of the two natures that are most present at this time. The kind of most prevalent personas, aspects of the personas. And so we have kind of this warrior protector with brandishing a sword. And ready to fight, ready to protect, really kind of just, I feel mostly in a more of a defensive posture, okay? And basically because of the legs, it looks like almost trying to flee, but also, fending off any kind of attack. On this other side, very much a kind of magical, very creative night side lunar energy. Okay, kind of maybe a lot less rational, a lot more of this dreamy kind of place where the creative concepts kind of come together and are being formed. Okay, and then we also have the owl, which in this case I would say is wisdom to some degree, but mostly this kind of a sensation of a watcher, something that feels maybe a little bit apart from self, but definitely is tied to your own psyche, but kind of almost like a daemon or the kind of higher thinking guardian angel, something that is looking over your well-being, okay? Especially when you're in this kind of lunar, creative, dreamy state where you might be more prone to you know, harm, being attacked, this kind of thing. I think this also makes sense with this kind of warrior pose that we have as well. So let's kind of talk about what this has to do with. My cat. Oh, goodness. All right. She's over there knocking things down. I want to talk about the card that I pulled for the reading. This kind of sets the tone. This is usually I use the Thoth deck. This next cycle, Aries through Pisces, I'm going to be using the Jungian Tarot deck, and that's by Robert Wang. This is the World card. This would be the Universe card in the Thoth deck, okay? And so in this context, I am thinking this is very much about your relationship from this kind of dreamy kind of borderland kind of land, this state of consciousness having to do with your actual physical form, being in the waking world, feeling a little bit like the configuration, your normal configuration in the waking world, where you're more business, getting things done, practically minded, logical, rational, present, all of these kinds of things. I feel that it is just like the dial is switched just enough that you are kind of more in this, it's almost dreamy, but it's more like being ultra present, where you are experiencing all of the very fine details of reality. I kind of almost have this vision in my head of you kind of waking up in the morning. Okay, you're walking outside, you're maybe having a tea or a cup of coffee. You just begin to notice the warmth of the sun, that life is flourishing around you. Things are very green and lush. The wind is blowing through the leaves. The sun is up, and there's just a quiet ease to your breathing. You feel very connected, interconnected even, to your environment. There's not that very definite gap between you and the outside. You feel that you're very much where you need to be. Everything is in its right place. Everything is kind of happening all at once as it's supposed to. It's like a quiet, sacred dance happening around you. And maybe most importantly, there is no impulse to try to control it, to control anything. You're just experiencing it. It's like, I like that saying, like, the sleeping God experiencing itself, or dreaming about itself. It's an interesting concept, but there's this abandonment of needing to understand, needing to try to categorize, to rationalize, to take any kind of control over the situation. You can just be still in the moment. You can hear your breathing, feel your heart beating, feel the subtle winds and the little tiny sounds happening, the bugs, the grass moving, so on. Okay, so I think that this is, it's pretty amazing when we naturally come into these states. It just happens sometimes, right? It's like almost like you're waking up all of a sudden. And it's like, oh, wow, there's this whole universe around me all the time. Usually our head is so in the game. We're so busy going from one thing to the next, one task to the next, one, errand after another, job, family, feeding yourself, getting enough rest, moving your body, whatever, trying to schedule some spiritual time, some leisure. And it can be overwhelming, and it can be, very tiring, exhausting to the soul, mind, body, soul. But I feel like you are in such an alignment right now where this is just coming. It's kind of, there's no, you're not getting an invitation. You're just already there. There's no question. You're just already there, And so let's take a look. Let's see what else is going on here. We have this large M up here, up in that kind of metaphysical, spiritual, higher consciousness zone. So I feel that this could either be maybe the name of a guardian angel, or maybe a loved one that is kind of sending messages to you. Somebody maybe that's passed, or an elder, ancestor, something like this. So in your dreams, visions, in these quiet places, look around for something that is being shown to you, revealed to you. Okay, that should be coming soon. Okay, and I want to look at this one. It looks like a large opening to kind of a cave on this side. And I really think that this is very much in line with this other energy we have. I think that you are kind of becoming intentionally inaccessible to people who are not like actively part of your current work, engagements, directly involved in your life. I feel like all of these kind of peripheral people, the kind of people that just you're wasting your time, like scrolling their social medias, having brief, encounters with, texting, whatever, having small talk conversations. I feel like you just really cut off a lot of this stuff. You're maybe on like a little bit of a detox, or just not in the mood to engage with it. I think that, once in a while it's really, really powerful to very much limit people's access to you. Of course, your normal interactions with family, if you live with people, your children, people you work with that you have to talk to and such. There are things we just have to do, and that's okay. But, limiting your accessibility to people who are, not important to the larger picture, I think definitely we all could do more of that. I imagine we would have so much more time, so much more mental bandwidth, and just kind of, deeper vitality and energies if we weren't wasting it on a bunch of random stuff. Okay, so we also have, I want to turn that over, and it looks like we have a tree, a large tree, and then we have this flower growing next to it. Again, I think this really kind of fits into this motif of your kind of recent awakening into your natural state, into your natural environment. Of course, you are always there. We are not apart from the environment. We are very much of the environment. And so this is all a matter of perception. And I think that your perception has shifted for whatever reason. And you are very alive and well in this natural state. I think that it's very important that you make use of this time. This is not something that comes often, especially in the world that we live in. Everything is busy, and loud, and there are so many kinds of noise pollution and light pollution and, you know, whatever else is in the air and the water and so on. And so when you get to these points where you can really find yourself deeply connected, deeply present, and able to really notice things, it's important to make use of them, document them, enjoy them, collect these impressions, sensations, inspirations for creativity projects. Just put them in that fuel tank for later when you start to feel a little bit more out of touch once again. But whatever you do, try to, I'm not saying cling to this, because the moment you try to cling to it, it will start to dissipate. But just, you know, like I said, make use of it. All right, let's see. We have this beautiful peacock, and I keep going out of, sorry, it's kind of angled a little weird, but we have this beautiful peacock, and you can even see on its head, it has those little feather things that they have, which are so pretty. And it looks like it's kind of in a seated position. Maybe it is roosting. Okay, so I really think that this is related to this kind of turning off of your showiness, your I mean, Taurus, you all are can sometimes be kind of ostentatious people. You know, have your feathers out and show and doing that little dance that the male peacocks do. Kind of flashy, right? Kind of drippy. And I think that this is kind of more of a period of, you know, rest, relaxation, saving up those energies. But also I feel that just kind of even thinking about your next moves. Like, what is your next kind of vibe going to be, your next aesthetic? This is another thing I know about Tauruses, is you all have like the most precise looks, the most precise like fashion choices, kind of just whole vibes of your environment, how you want people to you know, engage and encounter you, what you want that atmosphere to be like. And so at times you kind of just have to like go off the radar, because you have to collect yourself, get yourself ready to kind of have another like coming out for the season type of energy, right? So this makes sense to me. With everything else going on, I think that you really are kind of like drawing from that natural creative channel, okay? And kind of, you know, deciding what's the next season of clothing going to be? What's the next season of, you know, your attention going to be put into? What are your next interests? What are you going to put yourself all into? Okay. And then let's see. And I'm just kind of seeing like a lot of these like random little bodies, and they're kind of in different formations. And to me, it just really is a lot of movement happening. So I have really this impression, this one up here kind of looks like it's climbing up the side of a mountain a little bit. I have the impression that there is going to be kind of this turning towards like intentional physical activities. I feel like there could be something like really getting into walking, hiking, maybe really trying to get outside a lot more, going to parks, state parks, national parks. I almost get the this thought of maybe you're going to be swimming a lot, maybe even your first time swimming for the season, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere. We're going into summer soon, so a lot of those natural bodies of water are going to be warming up, and getting into that. The swimming pools will be opening up soon. And so I see that this is going to be something that's going to be important for you. I know that, most of the solar Taurus people I've ever known are very active people, just really out there doing all kinds of stuff. So I can just see that you're really, it just feels like it's going to be the beginning of a fun season for you. And a lot of creativity coming together. I'm excited to hear if anybody relates to this reading, what kinds of things are you planning on wearing? What are your kind of fashion sensibilities right now? What are you into? What are the brands that you are interested in? What's your whole vibe? So yeah, I think that's pretty much, well, let's see. Let's look at this. I totally forgot. We have the little bowl here. We kind of have this M again. It seems like it's repeating here. We have another M. It also looks like kind of mountain peaks too. So I'm really wondering kind of what kind of little ordeal is the universe going to be putting in your way. I feel like this is kind of like one of those soul tasks that's going to be happening for you. And I think, you're already kind of getting into a position, a configuration to start this work. And I think this has to do with this kind of cutting off any unnecessary people, any kind of outside stimuli that's not kind of, adding to your ultimate goal, interest, focus right now. And also just the fact that you're really just being drawn into this greater consciousness in these natural places and states of consciousness, right? Or states of in your natural states. That's what I'm trying to say. In natural places, in your natural state. Okay. And so I think that this hyper presence that's happening, it all is coming together to help assist you get through whatever the minor ordeal that is coming. Okay. And I think you will know what that is when it kind of presents itself to you. It seems like it's going to be somewhat emotional. Just, to be honest, because I see all of these kind of fragments in here. We have this kind of real watery, kind of pool of fragments down here. So I think it'll be somewhat emotional, definitely, but I don't think that this is anything that's really going to throw you off course. I think if you just, continue to honor your intuition, going where you feel you are kind of leading yourself and, being true to self, it should be just fine, really, and something that is going to kind of unlock the door to the next little cycle of things happening. All right. Okay, so I think that's the reading. And I appreciate your time Taurus, I am always so honored to be able to do these readings for you. I really just, you know, I feel so grateful that I get to do this kind of work, and the people that I have been so blessed to encounter through it. You all are very sweet. I enjoy your comments so much. So if you want to leave a comment, please do so. If you have not subscribed to the channel already, please think about doing that. You can hit the little button. It'll let you know. The little bell button. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. If this reading resonated with you, think about liking the video. It helps me get into the algorithm. Excuse me. And that is helping us build this channel one person at a time, and we are getting there. So thank you so much. I will talk to you again in a few days. And yeah, thank you.